I can't move the way I used to, had to call the audible. I put in the work, no humble flex. And talk of the town, you see who next. They on checkers, I'm on chess. Had to hit up with the X. XenHouse.
This is the XenHouse podcast. This is episode 56.
5-6.
We're
5-6.
here.
Yeah.
We're getting there, boy. Who's 56?
Nick Barnett. Go Pack, go.
Pat, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who else you got?
Sean Merriman.
Sean Merriman.
Who you picking?
Lights out.
Yeah, he did used to.
Who you picking?
He did used to spaz out, man.
He's different.
He's a dog.
I'm going Merriman.
That's
a monster.
Yeah.
True athlete. What was he, 260, running a 4.4?
Yeah, boy. But the linebackers back then were different.
Yeah, they were downhill.
Downhill, more physical.
But, I mean, Fred Warner right now is probably the best linebacker in the NFL.
Yeah,
The most athletic, hands down.
Yeah.
He's just different. Hold on, though. I saw a homeboy from Baltimore.
No, he's different. Queen, he's a monster.
I don't know what got into him.
Nah.
He sat down with Ray Lewis.
Oh,
That's
my
what it was.
gosh.
Ray Lewis.
No, that's different. But I'm going Fred Warner because Fred Warner was in the A gap, the opposite A gap, and ran to number 3 down the field and almost got a pick.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Yeah, that's different.
That's very difficult to do in the NFL.
Yeah.
Let alone high school. So, all right, we're going to move on from there, but that's just different.
Here at the XenHouse podcast, we like to merge fitness, community, and culture with mind, body, and soul.
Absolutely.
Today's episode, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of being a personal trainer. What's one of your? We're going to start with the cons or the bad stuff first. What's one major con?
My cons? Can I be radical?
Do not get radical. Not yet. It's too early. We're the first. It's the first 3 minutes.
Fine. Being true to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. That's a con. A lot of clients like to lie to themselves, and they don't want to set attainable goals that are true to what they have going on in their life. Not being here 24/7 plays a role outside of here, if that makes sense. So if you're only here for an hour, you have a full day to do whatever you got to do. So a lot of folks aren't eating right. They're not sleeping right. They're drinking. They're over-consuming in 2 categories, eating and drinking. And they're under-consuming with sleep. So those 3 right there, they're not doing the right thing. So they come in here and wonder why they're not losing the weight. But, you look on their Instagram story, they're at PF Chang's. All you can eat going off. So I'm just throwing some place out that's good, but it's really not good if you're eating too much of it.
You got the flip side too. People that want to gain weight and gain muscle, they're not doing what they need to do to do that as well.
Not even and it's the simple things. Drinking water. People not doing that. How much water you drink today? I missed out. You ain't missed out texting your stalker. Or whatever it may be. I'm just saying. Sorry, I'm just throwing shit out there. I'm trying not to be radical. But you see where I'm going.
Yeah.
They're not being honest with themselves, but they expect us to do the work for them.
Yeah, an hour usually.
It's one of my biggest.
Ross, what makes a goal attainable, or how important is an attainable goal?
I think that's what sets, right, like the vision or make anything attainable is just setting like a program or creating a program, right? Like we're here, you could use us, right? So like usually when we create a program, we'll create it for like 4 to 8 weeks, you know what I mean? And we know, all right, we have to meet this, or we have to box jump this, or we have to run this. So like, I think for them, right, like outside of being here, they have to create goals for like sleep and eating and drinking water. Yeah, it's nothing to drink 4 little small bottles of water every single day. Or maybe do some small research on your own and figure out how you can stay hydrated during the day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just small steps, and I think the small steps will make the goal like more attainable per se.
And I think it's a lot easier than people give credit. Like, say 4 bottles of water, instead of just saying, I got to drink 4 bottles, set times, 8 a.m.
Exactly.
Set it like that, and then I think it's more attainable. One of the things that gets me is these younger kids that want to be 225, right? they just want to be 225 right now.
Right.
And they just want to be an NFL linebacker
superstar.
right now.
Right.
Like, worry about being mobile, flexible. That stuff is more important than
explosive.
It's a progression, and I don't think people like to build from the ground up. That's the new thing,
it's social
especially
media
with social media too, right? A lot of these kids just see, oh, Alex is 240 and he's box jumping 44 inches. You think Alex just did
woke
that?
Up and did that?
Nah. At one point, Mans was 185, right? And he was doing that, right? And
that's
through
through
the life course, he continued doing it. It wasn't just like one day he just woke up and
it takes years. People don't understand. They think what's supposed to happen in months or happen like that is supposed to happen like tomorrow. Nah.
The body changes. There's some people who just genetically aren't born, with curvature. So like you got to build that over a year, like over months and years. You know what I'm saying? It's not just going to happen. And people would rather go and get that BBL.
They'd rather do anything unhealthy to get that quick fix.
Yep.
Looking like a bag of...
starving themselves, taking stuff that
looking
help
like
them.
a bag of lopsided rice. Shit. You know them rice at the grocery store, especially the corner, the bodegas? Them rice be like this.
They be leaning.
Look like bad sandbags, yo. Fuck out of here.
And like what Ross said, I think social media is playing a huge part. Like, there's good to social media, but there's a lot of bad stuff.
Right?
Yes.
And I think I fall victim to one of them, and that's like intimidation. People, they misunderstand when I post me doing a backflip into a handstand. I'm just doing, that's entertainment.
Done that,
this is me.
Right.
Come on, it's me. I do this stuff. But
you've been back. People don't know you've been backflipping
since I was like 6 years old.
Exactly.
But with that being said, that's entertainment. That gets people like, oh, look. But then my actual workouts don't consist of that wild stuff. That's extra that I do.
Right.
So,
extra.
I do some extra stuff.
But
they call me Extra Dez if you know.
But listen, so this makes even more sense, right? Like, for you to post something like that, that's not attainable for a normal human being, right? You will get 100 million, whatever the views are, right? If you actually post your workout of you actually like teaching,
really
right? Like good work, right? Functional work.
10 likes.
10 likes. It's just, they would rather watch that.
Yeah,
right?
They just want
entertainment.
Yeah. I rarely post my actual workout because, I mean, I like them. We know what it is. I do like football style workouts, and it's a lot of explosive movements, a lot of weight. We're moving weight, and most people don't like seeing that stuff. So I throw in that other stuff.
Yep.
But don't get it twisted. Each person has a different level. So if I'm doing some wild stuff and I have an adult comes in, 40 years old, you're not going to be doing that stuff.
Come on.
All right? I'm going to push you, don't get me wrong, but you're not doing the wild stuff you saw me do.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And I think when people see, right, like our Instagram, they think that, athletes are just what we do, and the adults are going to train just like the athletes.
Yeah.
No, there's levels for everything that we do, right? That's why we have the youth, we have the teenagers, we have the college,
and
then you have the adults, then you have, pros. Everyone is in their own lane, per se.
And you got to stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Now, there are some adults that still got something in them.
Oh, they still got low so.
And this is where I feel like we about to tie into these pros.
Yeah.
I'm going to just jump into it now because I feel like I get excited when we work with people that don't think they can do something.
Yeah.
And then when they get it done and the look on their face and they just be like, damn, I didn't think I could do that.
That's like that's dopamine.
It's literally, it's on some, especially the former athletes that they got kids now. They work a regular 9 to 5 or they're traveling like crazy so they don't have time to work out like this. They set a goal to be like, hey, listen, I just want to lose 5 to 8 pounds. And it's like, nah, we got more. And if you're a former D1 athlete, let's bring that back out. For example, Issa.
Issa's turned up. Shout out to Issa.
Watching her, she's a mom of what, 4?
Mom
3?
of 4.
Mom of 4, and she's doing agility drills. She played field hockey, right?
Doing single leg, lateral bounds, side to side.
She didn't think she could achieve that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, you're out of shape.
Shout out to Issa Moneypenny. Issa, hold it down, girl.
But you're out of shape. Like, people don't understand, right? You're out of shape. When you get into shape, right, whatever that is, right? Everyone, you might have a different thing. But like, when you get into shape, you feel like you can achieve anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's something I'm working on because shout out to these young boys that we train, these football boys. We go to the field down there. I watch them doing routes. I'm like, come on. I watch you. Like, also, this is another thing. Just because you're fast and athletic don't mean
you got it.
You are a great football player. And I'm not trying to take away anything
from
but
anybody.
If you learn the details within your position, and that's any sport,
the nuances.
That's what turns you from good athlete to this is a great football player.
Yep.
So
and being coachable. That's the biggest one.
So I might be a step slower than I was in college, but the technique and the attention to detail that I have, that's how I know no one's gonna play defense on me.
Right, you could.
I just know that because I know the game. Now, if I run into someone who knows the game and is more athletic than me, I'm still gonna find a way to get over it.
I'm about to say, you better still talk that shit.
Because they got me messed up.
You better still talk that shit.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that we got to teach these young kids, and that's definitely one of the cons is we get to, incorporate that and teach these kids and the coachable ones.
Cons or pro?
No, I'm going to pros now.
Okay.
Like the pros. Actually, we're not done with the cons. There's one more con I want to get to. Social media has given this picture of what your body should look like.
Oh yeah, false.
For men, you're expected to have a 6 to 8 pack.
Right.
I mean, your boy got it, but I'm just saying.
What
you're
you got?
Expected.
What we talking?
I got a 6 pack.
Right? I ain't got shit, and I got better core than you.
That's a damn lie.
Shit. It's
a damn lie.
I got a baby keg.
10 minutes in the workout, you were like this.
I was running.
Okay.
I was hurt.
All right.
Help me.
Buddy is a sick dude. But now, all jokes aside, we have this reality where people think they have to have a 6-pack. They think they got to be chiseled all over. Mm-hmm. Right? Women think they got to have big breasts, big butt.
Or super slim.
Or super slim. That's not it. And a lot of those people on social media, they either edit their photos or they get surgeries and stuff like that.
Or they're taking supplements.
Or they're taking stuff. So you got to keep that in mind. That is a huge con that is messing up people's reality on life in the fitness world.
And it causes issues later on in life that you don't even want to even think about. But
mentally and physically.
Yeah, they're doing it for the now.
Yeah.
Now
to transition into some of the pros of being a trainer, I would say my biggest pro, and it's probably all of ours to some form, is teaching someone something that they use and you see it in a game or you see it later on in their career. You could pinpoint when you actually taught them, they were like, yes, I understand what you're saying, and they went and applied it. Yep. That's one of the biggest pros in my book.
I think I just had a mom and daughter here yesterday, and usually I just train the daughter. But she came in with the daughter yesterday, and she was talking about how she saw a difference in her daughter's soccer, right? Once she started training here with me or with XenHouse. And one of the things that she said was that, hey, like all of these parents are coming up to me and asking me, what is Kaya doing? What is Kaya doing? She's looking different, right? And she's like, well, she goes here and she's been doing it for X amount of time. And you never hear from the parents or from the kids again. But like what she takes from this is that, right, she built up her confidence, but not just because she was coming in, but because she enjoyed it. She was hella nervous in the beginning, right? But once I explained to her the benefits of, running properly or transitioning properly or weightlifting properly, like if you play soccer and if you play football, it's completely different. Even if you play baseball or you play tennis, it's a completely different program. So like once she understood, all right, this is what I need to do and this is what he's gonna teach me, like she trusted me and she gained a lot more confidence. So now soccer is easy.
It's fun.
You know? It's fun again. So like, I think to me it's just teaching and making the athletes understand the right things that they could do. You know, we don't have all the answers, by the way, but like the things that we're gonna teach is gonna be, you know, on the right track to build them to be a better athlete.
And going off of that with the confidence piece, it's, you know, what we do at XenHouse here is we make sure every athlete understands who the trainers are here. So that's a confidence builder because now we're teaching these young athletes not only the physical of weight training, running mechanics, but we're teaching these young kids how to walk into a room and introduce yourself.
Yeah, integrity.
Speak. Like,
With
say
confidence.
it with your chest. Like, don't be nervous, don't be shy. Especially these young boys. They walk in there, hi, my name's Jacob. Like, what'd you say? And we say it like that because it's like, we're not trying to intimidate you, but we want you to be like, my name is Jacob, or whatever my name is, but you gotta like say it. And that plays a huge role because the kids that we've seen over the times that, you know, the Darians, the New Canaan, these kids that aren't around diversity like this, they have that confidence now. They dapping up. One of my college teammates came by and said, yo, you got these little girls dap. He's from New York. And he saw a little girl dap me up who's from Greenwich like this. And he was like, what? And I was like, that's what we do here.
Yeah.
We don't, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, it's like we're going to give you the same vibe. And that's what plays a huge role in what our success is because we're being personal. We're teaching these young kids, you know, diversity. We're teaching them how to interact with other people that they're not used to being around.
It's a community.
Yes, and that's where, you know, what we do and why I feel like we're so successful is that we don't care about, you know, what your background is. When you're in here, this is a family.
This is the environment.
This is like a community in itself where we want everyone to know everyone. That's why we have these little events like, you know, our Christmas party, our cookouts. Like we want people to get outside of just working out and show people who are network, resource. And I feel like that is a huge pro. And I feel like we all agree that, you know, people are becoming who they are based on us getting them out their comfort zone.
Absolutely.
To piggyback off of to get people to come to themselves, I feel like a lot of athletes that come in, they're not bad athletes. Like some people think, oh, I got to get faster or I got to get stronger, which is true. But your mindset has to be, you know, intentional with the training. So for what I mean by that, a kid might be fast and his dad might come in and say, I want him to get faster. No, he needs to know how to practice fast. He needs to know how to do this drill fast, which is going to lead him to be have that burst on the field. So it's a lot of mental things we attack. And that, once we pass that knowledge on, that is a pro for us because I didn't have no one to tell me that. We all moved on ability. We were fast, so we moved fast. But if I knew each practice in high school,
would have been way faster.
Be intentional, this rep right here, remember this rep, and not just getting through practice because you got PlayStation at home, you got you know all this other stuff.
We would have been different.
Outcome would have been a lot different. Now, into the next piece of this, who are some people that you guys see that is doing the right thing?
Oh man, there's a lot. From just athletes to general fitness. I mean, we saying names?
We can say names. I have a dude, David Alexander. He's the owner of DBC. And just listening to some of his stuff. He's not coming with this groundbreaking stuff in terms of like small details. Like one thing he said that resonated with me was, he was like, my sessions are 55 minutes, right? He said I leave 5 minutes to get back to these 100 texts I get. And I'm intentional with responding back to these texts rather than do the whole 60 minutes and then that transition period is, you know, I got one person, I got to give another person my. So I think that was, it's just small little tips you can get like that can help manage your time better with stuff like that.
There's a few. Shout out to CJ Hammond, one of my college teammates. He's a trainer out in LA. He's grown drastically. And just watching his work, he's very knowledgeable. He works with from high profile athletes to general fitness. He's all over. I think he's a Nike trainer. But he's one of those that he's not messing around. His
not
goal,
playing. I've seen the stuff. He ain't
his
playing.
goal is to, one, showcase that he knows his shit and he can do it, and he still got it, because he boxes now. So, you know, he's throwing on those mitts and he looks damn good. But also he shows his range of athletes and people he works with. And it's huge. It's important that trainers show that, because if you just show just straight models or straight professional athletes, no one's going to want to reach out to you and be like, I can't afford him because he only works with them.
Especially of where he's located.
Oh, yeah,
too.
in LA. So that's one person. In regards to a female trainer, there's this girl that I don't even know how I even stumbled across her, but Kelly Matthews. I looked her up a little bit. She's a former soccer player, but she's a beast. And she literally is a former athlete like us that, you know, got into this field, and she just promotes strength training and speed training for all ages. And I appreciate her work because she's honest with it. She's like, yo, listen, for the women, you're going to be bloated. You're going to have your times where, you got your menstrual cycle going on. Continue to train. Don't let that make you fall off. Speed training, how important that is, because you're working on your quick twitch. You're working on elasticity in your body. So things like that need to be told, and it's truthful. She shows the true workouts where she's like, I'm dying. It's not just glute bridges all day. It's not just, oh, let me put the camera here, turn around and bend over, which social media models are doing. That's why I appreciate some of her stuff. And then lastly, Phil Daru. He's kind of an MMA / combat / sports training trainer that he works with a variety. And he breaks down, I did some of his courses online, and he breaks down a lot. And I really appreciate those type of trainers because they don't sugarcoat. And I feel like a lot of training right now on social media is sugarcoated and watered down, which it messes up the youth because they think, if I just do this, then I'll just, here are 3 exercises that's going to guarantee you get you faster. But they don't show the mobility. They don't show the time with the recovery. They don't show the rolling out. They don't show all that stuff, but they just show those 3 exercises and they leave it.
They get a little spray of water on the chest a little bit real quick.
So it just, shout out to those folks.
And the biggest thing I think you said with all 3 of those people and what Guy I said is they actually do it themselves. You see them do it. Dave Alexander, he says that on Sundays, he goes and works out himself. All the movement that he put these people through, he can do. So that's huge. Don't put somebody through something you can't do or you've never done.
Right.
I think that's rule number 1. And,
so one of the people that I kind of follow, I don't really follow anyone on Instagram per se. I'm more of like a podcast. I try to get off of Instagram during the day, but his name is Andrew Huberman, and he's a neurobiologist at Stanford. And he's like a professor, but then he has his own podcast where he basically talks about like dopamine, right? His new thing is dopamine and the mind, how the mind can affect everything that you do daily, right? He goes into like immersions, cold therapy, saunas, right? Training, different stuff like that. And then he talks about like how sugar affects. So he'll have like a bunch of people on the podcast, and they're like super intelligent, and they bring like science and different like backgrounds to it as well. But like he goes into depths about how dopamine can be good or bad, and how it can affect the way that you do daily stuff, right? So for instance, like when you're in that cold plunge, right, and we're suffering for like 5 to 8 minutes, at that 8:30 mark is when, dopamine kind of kicks in and you're like, all right, I can push through this. And you kind of get excited about everything that you're doing. So like, I think it's kind of cool that, not only does he teach it, but dude is an animal too.
Goes through with it.
He does everything that he talks to everyone about. And when you're looking at him, you're like, this dude is like hella intelligent, right? And he doesn't look built. But then I saw a video of Buddy like walking with like a huge rock or sandbag up a hill. Buddy is built, you know what I'm saying? And then he also had your boy on there, David Goggins. And Goggins is a
Goggins is different.
Goggins is different. But he ties in, because Goggins, you know, like, will basically talk about himself and tell you, like, hey, I'm not a very smart guy. I just found, right, something within me. And they kind of attach and figured out that it was dopamine that drives Goggins to be this insane person. Well, who other people may think is insane, but he's not really like that. He just found that and he pushed through what he found was like a terrible person. And you got to listen to Goggins to really understand what the it is. But like he talks about how he hated himself before, and now, you know, he's found who he really is.
He is a smart dude.
He's very smart.
Everyone that says I'm not that smart,
he's
like
a
the
very
fact that he
smart
can
guy.
tap into certain parts of the brain that
Most people
can't.
can't.
That's a different type of smart. If he's talking about book smart,
That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, he's talking about like more book smart,
Yeah,
right?
that's
But
fine.
he's found, right, like he's gone deep into his mind, and there's still like parts of the mind that we haven't reached, or just scientists in general haven't touched yet. But like Huberman goes into those specifics, right? And he's like, there's so many other things that we can attach training or everyday life to. You know, like our life expectancy can be so much greater, but we just don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Like my thing off of that is how someone can make the conscious effort to focus that much, right? And it ties into, you know, I had this conversation with one of my clients the other day where people would rather pay for a prescription from a doctor than pay for the training and the methods to eat and, you know, live correctly.
Yeah. Natural lifestyle.
And I always go back to, you know, Big Pharma, they're meant to keep you locked in. It's a revolving door. Like, once you're done one med, it's like, all right, here's another one. Here's a Band-Aid. Here's another Band-Aid. This Band-Aid fell off. Just like you in the pool, the Band-Aid fall off. Here, mom, I need another one, dry off.
Right.
That's medicine. What true medicine is walking, doing your exercises.
Physical activity.
Yeah, physical activity, reading, getting outside in the sun, being active, moving.
Cold plunge.
You know, you got to put your body in different situations where you need to invest in your body. People aren't investing in their body. They're investing in their taste buds.
Right.
They're investing in, sightseeing. Yes, go out and see the world. I really feel like it's important that people understand that their mindset is unlimited.
Yeah, you got to challenge yourself. I'm gonna send you guys that podcast. But he goes into I'm gonna send you the Goggins one. But he goes into how, like, you know, if we stay, like, for instance, right, we started doing the 4 a.m. workouts, right, and for me, I'm not waking up at 4:30. We got kids, right? And Des don't have one yet. But when it comes,
coming soon.
But when it comes, it's gonna be a different kind of challenge, and that's where you release dopamine. It's because it's not yet every day, right? Like when Alex is like, excited. You know what? I'm gonna do 10 sprints, and you're dying, right? Like how you told me last week, and you continue to run. That's when you release it. It's because you're challenging yourself.
That's the difference between becoming a better version of yourself or staying the same.
Well, think about this. I got a baby coming in June, and the group chat saying, once that baby come, you're not doing your 4:30 a.m. workouts anymore.
Right.
And what do I say?
Yeah,
I'm doing them.
Doing it.
And if I gotta die to prove you guys wrong,
he's gonna do that.
I'm gonna do it.
We know
I'm
that.
different. I'm doing that. I'm still dumb. I would rather,
what you talking about?
I would rather die than let these
You gonna have baby
win.
Mila be a statistic? I'm stuttering Stanley. Statistic?
Listen,
You rather die just to prove us wrong?
y'all got me messed up. I'm gonna still be here.
Okay.
If baby
We
Mila
gonna
gotta be
see soon.
here with me, she gonna be here with me. But that's pending. We're gonna see.
TBD. To be determined.
But yeah, guys, that was a great episode. I'm happy you guys get to hear some of the pros and cons of what we go through every day, personal training, business owning, and we're signing out. That's episode
56.
56.
We out.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. On Spotify and Instagram, we're XenHouse Podcast. On YouTube, we're XenHouse_. Also available on Apple.
XenHouse, yeah. XenHouse, yeah.